I'm 13 years old. I'm sitting in math, my math class at the junior high. I'm seventh grade.
Yeah.
And I wasn't listening to anything the teacher was saying. I was actually looking out the window.
Naturally.
And this was my whole academic career.
Yeah.
Looking out the window. My parents are going through this divorce. It's a really, really challenging time for them. It's a challenging time for as a kid. You're just like trying to sort through all this.
Yeah. Now figure out the algebraic equation.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So I thought to myself, I had this conversation. I almost liken it to like those silly cartoons where you got like the little good angel here and like the little bad angel here. And I remember thinking to myself, I'm like, I can do whatever I want with my life now. I can like have sex with girls. I can like drink alcohol. I can do drugs. I can flunk out of school. I can hang out with whoever I want. And for the rest of my life,
that's interesting.
I can blame my parents' divorce because this is what happened.
That's
and
interesting.
This little devil's like, it's a good idea. You should do that.
Could be fun.
And then
everyone's doing it.
I had this other little angel on my other shoulder saying, you're right. You can do that.
Yeah.
But I just want you to know, if your life sucks, it's because you created your life. And so you can blame your parents all you want for the rest of your life too. But you're the one that has to live. You're living this life. It's your life to live. It's your life to make. It's your life to break. And so it's like, you get to choose. And if you want to blame them, that's fine. But you're the one that has to live it. The decisions of your consequences of your decisions.
Right.
Decisions have consequences. And so I was like, that's a good idea too. So I just decided to like create my own life versus blame and complain and whine and make excuses about all the stuff that happened to me.
Yeah.
And I want to say this, if you're listening to this, you're like, yeah, but you don't understand what happened to me. In other words, it's deeper than what you're going through.
Yes.
I understand that.
Yep.
I understand that. And I appreciate that. There is a lot of hurts out there. There's a lot of injustice and a lot of pain.
Absolutely.
You still own the response.
Yes.
You still own the gap. So you are a victor of your response, not a victim to the events.
And
so you get to own those.
Well, going along with that is, no, we may not understand the events, right? I do not understand because my parents did not get divorced. I cannot sit here and tell you I completely understand that. I don't, right? And then I've also talked to people, I've talked to women who have been raped, right? And there's no chance I can ever talk to that person and say, I understand. We cannot, right? You can talk about the most evil things ever that have happened to people. I sat here with Tim Ballard, right? And when he sees these kids, how is he supposed to talk to them and help them because of what the greatest hell they've ever been through, right? But it's, again, like we're saying, it's not the event that we should understand. It's the fact that I know that you're a human being. And as a human being, there's a power inside of you that you don't yet understand of what kind of power you can take in your life, the control you can have over that event, your response. I love how you're putting the event and plus the response, because we don't understand the event. But at the end of the day, what's inside of you is also what's inside of me. It's no different. There is a power inside of you just as much as there's inside of me. The difference is I've chosen to tap into my power a lot more than you have, but you can make that decision right here, right now. Tap into that power and watch what you can create. Realize who you are. That power that's within all of us as human beings. Once we really dive in, you sit here and think, I'm a king. Right? I create my own kingdom, right? And as much as governments and all these things would want to impose on that, at the end of the day, I create my own kingdom, right? I am literally a piece of God. Like you could technically say demigod because I believe in God. I believe I'm a son of God. I have the exact same power inside of me that he does. I just have to learn to tap into that power, right? And again, we're getting into this whole God thing, but that's the power. And yeah, you're exactly right. You can't talk to them about the event. That's not the point. The event doesn't matter. Once we look at the event is just a dot on our past. And I love how you put that. You can't, count the dots moving forward, but you can count them looking back, right? And that dot is, again, just a dot.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's who you become.
Also keep this in mind. The bigger the struggle, the bigger the story. And the bigger the struggle, the louder the applause when you cross the stage.
Yes.
So man, if you've been through it, when you overcome that, you respond to it and you overcome it, we're all going to give you a standing ovation.
Agreed.
Like the marketplace is going to say, we want to partner with what you're doing.
Yeah.
Because you overcame that. If you look at like Oprah's story, just using her as one quick example. Oprah had a terrible story growing up.
Right.
But that's one of the reasons that we all just cheer Oprah on so much and stand up and give her a standing applause, because we're like, man, well done,
Yeah,
and so
absolutely.
Bigger the struggle, bigger the story.
Yeah.
Sometimes you look back and you say, this struggle actually created the story. So in other words, without the struggle, I never would have had the story.
Right.
So it's the whole like test. Without a test, there's no testimony. But to me, it's like the bigger the struggle, the louder the applause.
Love it. Yeah. And what you said about the two angels, I love that you said that because like the truth is whether you call them two angels, but there's a ancient Indian, tale. I'm sure you've heard of the two wolves.
Of course.
Right? There's two wolves inside of us as he's teaching his son. One's evil, one's bad. They're constantly fighting. And the son asks, which one wins? It says the one you feed.
Yeah.
The one you give, time to, the one you give energy to, that's the one that wins. And at the end of the day, it still is the one you choose to feed. Because yes, there's opposition pulling in both ways. Whichever you choose to go with is your responsibility and yours alone.
Yeah.
Right? Man, we're diving into some deep shit, but this is probably some of the most powerful shit that people could learn, right? So let me ask you this. How is this correlated with your businesses?
Yeah. So for me, it all ties together. And you can rid yourself of all entitlement and be an employee all day long. So this is not a knock on having a job or being an employee. But I do
Viktor
think
Frankl was literally a prisoner of war.
For sure.
Rid himself of all that.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Exactly.
I'm not saying they're the same though.
For me, becoming an entrepreneur and chasing the dream of freedom, which by the way, let me give you the formula way that I look at it. So if we had a piece of paper in the top middle, I'd write the word income. So this is the real goal. The goal is like, hey, how do we make a ton of money? Right? Cool. Got it. But then the bottom right corner, so if you had like almost like a triangle, the bottom right corner would be the word lifestyle. So it's like, how do we really build a life we love? So it's really lifestyle design.
Yeah.
Because if you said to someone, look, I'll pay you crazy amount of money, but you're going to go work on Wall Street. You're never going to see your family. You're going to work 21 hours a day. You'll lose your health, but you'll make a ton of money. It's not, you might say, well, I can maybe justify for a while, but the truth is you're like, I hate my life.
Yeah.
And a lot of people wake up and they're like, I'm doing what I do and I actually hate my life.
Yes.
So they say, I want to make more money, but the truth is what they're really saying is I want to create a life that I love.
Yes.
Right.
Amen.
So it's lifestyle, or it's income then lifestyle. And hopefully the more income you make, if you create great systems and teams, you can create great lifestyle.
Agreed.
But then the bottom left, so I imagine like there's circles, right? Bottom left to me would be impact. It's like, does my life matter? Is my work meaningful? Like, am I adding value to someone besides myself? Because I've also seen people make money, have a great life, and they freaking hate their life because they're not actually serving at a higher level. They're just, it's very hollow for them. And if you had all the money in the world, all the lifestyle in the world, and you're selling cocaine, that's not going to work either. Because you're just like,
well,
yeah, you're just like, the impact I'm making sucks.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So to me, what we're trying to do is, how do I raise my income? But really, how do I create a great life?
Yeah.
And then how really do I impact the world? Like, do I leave people better than I found them, and leave like my market, my community, my family, just people are better because I came. And if you do that right, if you impact people properly, you actually should feed the income. And if the income has good teams and systems, you actually should feed the lifestyle, and the lifestyle hopefully will feed more impact, and it just becomes like a circular loop. And so to me, that's really the goal. Yeah. The goal is increase your income by all of that at the end of the day is freedom. All of that today is you rid yourself of entitlement. All of that today is you start doing all of those things to say, I'm going to go chase that dream. I'm going to go make my life matter. Yeah. And to me, it's that combination. It's not, at first I thought it was just, I just want to make more money. Yeah. That was kind of like all I could see. Yep. Right. And then I started realizing, like, I remember, like, particularly in sales, I mean, I grinded, dude, and freaking put points on the board and the whole thing. And then January 1st.
Before this, we were talking about door to door.
That's right. First January 1st, I was at zero. Yeah. I was like, I'm not creating a life that I love. I'm just grinding right now. Yep. And so I wanted to learn how to create a great life, plus have a ton of perpetual residual income, and then also build a ton of impact in people's lives. Well,
I mean, a friend of mine, his name is Brad Lee. I don't know if you know who he is. He has a Dropping Bombs podcast. Super successful dude, love him to death. And he said this, and it was awesome way to put it. He goes, if I gave you $100 million right now, would you take it? Like, yeah, of course. He goes, but if I then told you that you wouldn't wake up tomorrow, would you take it? Yeah. It's like, no, of course not. No one in their right mind would probably take that.
It's a great question. It's a great analogy.
So that's how valuable it is for you to wake up tomorrow. So it's not about the money, it's about the life you want. Because if it doesn't matter, if your life doesn't matter, it's all about the money. Well, we'll take that 10 times out of 10, right? 100 mil? Fuck yeah, But no, it's about the life. So you're saying exactly, the money is just the tool. Yeah. The money could turn into Bitcoin one day. Hell, it could turn back into gold. We go back to Stone Age days and we're trading like, I don't know what, like, it doesn't matter. It's just the currency. Yeah, of course. It's just the transactional piece that we have that trades us for the lifestyle, the house, the cars, the vacations, the freedom. Maybe it's just the freedom to do nothing and spend time with your family. Maybe it's like you want to see Portugal or Japan, it doesn't matter what it is. I love it. It's the lifestyle that people want. And the lifestyle can only be brought when you start providing that kind of value.